know that this is the entrance to a sacred native river? Salish shamans would send their children to rap down the river when they turned 14.
You sure you want to come along?
Yeah, no, I'm sure. It's not a big deal.
You're okay with the drugs and everything, right?
I can handle my own.
What is it?
I have no idea what this place is.
This place gives me the creeps. Can you see them too? Been watching us since last night.
We're on drugs, man. Whatever you think you're seeing is just in your head.
That's trash.
Hello and welcome to That's Cool, That's Trash, the podcast where we watch a psychotronic movie online, then get together on Skype to break down the crazy. I'm Matt Howell, and I'm joined today by our friend from up north, Devin Bruce.
Hello, that's me.
And our friend from down under, Andrew Shaw.
This is me.
And that's your bird.
That's my many birds. You'll hear many birds today.
Andrew's kind enough to join us on the morning of his day off, since we are on such different time schedules. So he's out enjoying a coffee on his patio. I'm assuming you're having a coffee.
There it is.
You're never without your coffee. So we're doing a bit of a special episode here because, as you know, the show's retired. We revived the show for a bit during the beginning of the COVID quarantine, and then that ended, and the show's just kind of mothballed. But we got offered some films from some filmmakers if they asked if I wanted to review them on the show, and I love to watch movies for free. It's a peanut gallery, and one of these films was from a director who I totally dig. I saw his first major film, I guess not major in budget wise, but one that had the most distribution, which was Black Mountain Side, and the director is Nick Shostakovich.
Sounds good to me.
The bird agrees. It's Shostakovich.
Yep.
So I saw Black Mountain Side at the 2015, I think, or 16 H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival in Portland, Oregon. And I think it won an award as the best feature. I went up and introduced myself to some of the cast and maybe the director when he was there and just told him how much I loved it. I bought it as soon as I could. I've seen it many times. I've spread it around to some friends. Folks, you can see this, by the way, on Tubi TV for free, if you don't mind commercial interruptions. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a cinematic love letter to The Shining and The Thing. It's a nice slow burn, and if you like slow burn indie horror, it's going to be right up your alley, especially if you like cosmic horror, which is one of my favorite veins. So that's my blab here. So we're talking about the film he made that same year that he was taking Black Mountain Side around. At the time, it was called Hammer of the Gods. It was completed. They completed filming, I think, in 2016 and needed more funding to do all the post-production stuff. So in the process of post, there was a legal challenge to the name, so they changed it to Archons. And it was released when the festival circuit. I think it played the Lovecraft Festival last year, maybe. And now it's just getting digital distribution. And I'm super excited that people can check it out. And we're here to talk about it. And I told you about Black Mountain Side.
Yeah.
Prior to this. And what were your impressions of that?
Oh, I loved it. I saw it on Tubi as well. It was available here in Australia on Tubi. And yeah, just that, like you said, that slow burn terror. It just builds and builds. And that last sort of 20 minutes where shit goes down, it was just, it really, and the creepy bits, like, I don't want to spoil too much in case people haven't seen it, but it's just it's one of those ones where you go, imagine what this person could do on a massive budget when he does so well with such a small budget on something like this. Yeah.
And Devin, I think you were new to his stuff, so you saw Black Mountain Side for the first time just to kind of get acquainted with this guy's filmography, correct?
Yeah, I did. And I really liked it. I thought maybe a little slow on pacing, but like I thought For a little indie movie, what a great way to build up the tension. The effects were great. I enjoyed the idiosyncrasies of the actors. Like I really enjoyed Black Mountain Side a lot. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that you're like homaging The Thing with it's a bunch of dudes in a really, really snowy area and stuff starts going bad.
Yeah, dudes smoking and drinking, snowbound.
Yeah.
I'm already in at that point, honestly. I'm always drawn to films that have a small cast with an intense plot. I don't know why, but those always work for me. So both of his films are so far like that, and he's got my number, I guess, when it comes to that stuff.
I think it's the isolation too. Like we've all been in isolation for a while, but it's the like you don't know where help's going to come from. Like they keep mentioning, a helicopter's a few days out, and a few days out is way too late, and it's a similar thing in this movie as well. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. Well put. Yeah, and I remember seeing this in the theater, Black Mountain Side, and that slow burn when the first big event shock happens. I mean, you could have heard a pin drop leading up to that point where people were just kind of like, where is this going? What is this going to be? And then when that happened, I mean, it was just people were rapt, and just the rest of the film, people were just kind of mouth open, just like, holy shit. And the whole place was absolutely silent, and then cheering, when something cuckoo would go on. It was great. So I think seeing it in a theater setting was probably advantageous as well. But, remember cinemas? Do you guys remember those at all?
Sort of.
Yeah.
That's where you went to eat popcorn and overpriced hot dogs, right?
That is, yeah.
Oh, I miss those places.
Yeah, we'd also drink beer in ours. I don't know. I'm sure you guys do those in yours too, right?
Occasionally, if they're not checking your backpack.
Do you not have brew pub style stuff in Canada?
Nah. We don't have it here either.
We
Really?
have a couple, but like they're the fancy theater.
Yeah. They're a lot more expensive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have indie ones that do it, and then it just kind of became, even the big massive corporate chains started doing it because you have to keep up, right?
Yeah. Our local theater organization, the Metro Cinema, they serve beer out of local bottles. We have a local brewery, and they sell Alley Cat, I think, and just like, here, have a bottle of beer, just take it in if it's like a special occasion, but we don't have a fancy bar or draft or anything.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was surprised when this film's title got changed from Hammer of the Gods. Do you guys, what does Archons connote to you?
Star Trek.
What is that? I'm not a Star Trek guy. What does that mean?
Me either.
There's an original series, Battle of the Archons or something like that. And if you just type Archons into Google, at least into Canadian Google, anyway.
Google A?
Google, comma A. They're demonic entities. But like in Star Trek, The Return of the Season 1, Episode 21. So anytime I heard Archons, I was like, oh, they're like no, they're not the Star Trek guys.
And Andrew, did you have any kind of association?
No, I had nothing. The term sounds like something that should come up in ufology or something like that. It seems like a space alien, something who visited us and talked to a president at some point. But no, that's all I had. So
I just kind of knew it was something associated with how do you say it, Gnostic, with the silent G, Gnostic stuff and Manichaeism. So I knew it was like something that's some weird kind of spin-off of Christianity that is those weird trippy Matrix versions of Christianity. Yeah, I had to look it up, and it said like demonic entities, like you're saying, subordinate to the embodiment of evil in the corresponding belief system, each related to one of the 7 planets. They prevent souls from leaving the material realm. the political connotation, because this is actually a Greek term that's a name for a ruler in like a Greek district or something. The political connotation of the name reflects rejection of the governmental system as flawed without chance of true salvation. And in Manichaeism, the Archons are the rulers of a realm within the kingdom of darkness who together make up the Prince of Darkness.
Ooh.
So if you dig into that, you get those kings of hell kind of things that are like in a lot of comics and a lot of mythology and stuff, like the demon names like that you would probably recognize if you saw them. So it's interesting. I guess I'm just babbling. I just thought the name was interesting. when it switched, I was totally taken aback because I've been looking for Hammer of the Gods for years, like literally waiting for it for years. Okay, so before we really dig in here, I just want to let people know that we're going to be talking in a spoiler-free manner about the first half of the film or so in a very kind of generalized way. You can check that out, and I will definitely be letting you know and giving you a jumping off point if you don't want to have anything spoiled, because we are going to talk about theories and the ending of the film and what it meant to us. So don't worry, you will not be spoiled without a chance to get out of the bus. Okay. Andrew, can you do a quick elevator pitch kind of what this general plot is?
Ooh, all right. So it's 3 band members. And I can't remember what the name of the band is. It's
Sled Dog.
Sled Dog, that's it. Who've had a hit and have sort of fallen in a bit of a slump, and they decide to go on a bit of a soul-finding journey into the Canadian wilderness and drop acid and take it from there and see what happens.
Yeah. And to quote many YouTubers, it didn't go well.
And shit goes down.
It starts off really promising. Handsome Mitch gets a groupie to take along with him on their crazy drug trip.
Yeah.
So was really well timed.
Yes, it was. So the group is Sled Dog is comprised of Mitch, who is the singer bass player, Eric, who is the creative lead of the group, the guitar player and songwriter, and Olivia, who is the drummer. And as Andrew was saying, they have had one big hit called Backfire, and they've been in kind of a slump. They did a second album that wasn't really received well critically or commercially. Just wrapped up a tour and realized they need some kind of inspiration in order to get their mojo back. And so that inspiration is to be found. Eric meets one of his 70s guitar idols, Emerson Gilmore, I think.
Emerson. That sounds about right, yep.
Emerson Gilmore told him, in the 70s, we did this thing where we did this canoeing trip down this sacred Native American path, and there's these 3, lodges that you kind of stop at, these checkpoints, and they would commune with the spirits, and, I took acid, and that's where I got revitalized. And this is his hero, this is his Clapton or Dave Gilmour or whatever the analog is supposed to be. So he's inspired by that and decides he's going to do that as well. One thing I love about these films is the cinematographer Cameron Tremblay. I believe this is his name. Absolutely stunning visuals in all of his stuff. Just gorgeous. And this starts off with a gorgeous shot right out of the gate. There's some beautiful drone shots.
Oh yeah.
Here and there. It's not overused, which is I love. It's very subtle and restrained, but some gorgeous stuff of them canoeing. And I can't imagine canoeing is an easy way to film an indie project.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Logistically.
Yeah. Canoeing is really hard. And the cinematography, I will say, especially in the day and the low light, like it is hard to get a bad shot of Surrey, British Columbia. If you're on the canoe, like I've canoed on those rivers before, and it's just like to have that as the opening shot of the movie. I felt at home. Like I felt like, oh, this is a nice place. I am familiar with this. And that set the stage for, oh yeah, you've been on a canoe trip like this. Now wait, it's going to get worse.
Yes, it's going to. Really, I thought the acting was pretty amazing. I think that the director must be a pretty talented guy because he pulls some amazing performances out of these people. Like Mitch is a perfectly realized kind of dopey frontman, right? Like he's He's super charming. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but he's not dumb. But I mean, he's just kind of a good time guy, great front man, good singer, good bass player. But you can tell that Eric is definitely the kind of haunted lead, creative lead of the group. You
can see Mitch is just the, hey, I get to paid to sing, play bass, and probably drink a lot of beer, so I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah,
pretty much, that's his gig.
Yeah, I will say, every time I made a note about him, I wrote him down as Handsome Mitch, because that's the I was just like, how do I separate these guys? He's got such a strong Canadian accent. It was distracting to me.
Really?
Love it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this guy is from Toronto for sure. Because he pronounces it that way. It was very Canadian accent. He leaned really hard into it. Unless that's like his actual accent, in which case, great job, buddy.
Yeah, it didn't help. It didn't help the Canadian accent stereotypes at all.
No.
I didn't really notice it that much, but I guess I've just become accustomed to it from listening to you yammer.
Oh.
Over the years.
It's about time that you isn't that that's the American joke about Canadian accents? Is that we say
sorry.
About sorry, yeah. That's about it. And that's all we got.
Right. Cool.
I'm glad we've only ever done one Australian movie.
Yeah, and I think I will say that I thought that the setting that opening shot on the girls, like Mitch canoes over to the girls, and it's like, oh, okay. I feel like this is a direct addressing of the fact that the last movie was all men. Like, look, now there's already 3 women. And it's good. And I did really enjoy the performance of the April, the groupie that goes.
She was great.
Them. She was great. I loved the oh my God, I love you so much. You have to go sign my CD and my shirt. And then the next day she's wearing the shirt the band all signed to go canoeing with them.
Yeah,
what a
adorable.
Great touch.
I know.
And I was like, please tell me she's over 18. Please tell me she's over 18. They look like young girls. Please, Mitch, please.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to say, when you said that they're introducing the fact that this is not a Kurt Russell pickle party like the last one is, I thought you were going to say that, him pulling up to the girls is let's establish Mitch's character immediately with the first action.
Oh, yeah.
Of like,
absolutely.
He's going to paddle over the girl and, how you ladies doing? Do you mind if I say that you're stunning? I think it's just one of the first lines.
And the one in the bikini is like, I clocked you before you even got to the door, buddy.
It's surprising you just turn up with a guitar and hand just starts strumming it. Hey, baby, what's going on?
Yeah,
immediately
that's great.
Takes his shirt off.
Oh, it's getting hot.
Good thing there's no black flies in the middle of Surrey, BC.
Oh boy. I'm done with my yerba mate, so I'm going to switch over to my beer here. Guys, excuse me for a moment while I crack this open.
Oh.
Okay.
I grip it and rip it, baby.
It's not that kind.
I will ask, because this was one of the few questions I had at the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie is very straightforward, but my big question is this band supposed to be Canadian? Because they kind of have to be. Mitch just said he was from Saskatoon, right?
Yeah.
So they are Canadian. How big is this band supposed to be? They went on a worldwide tour.
Yeah, man. They're no crash test dummies,
that can do that, but
yeah, they're no crash test dummies, but they're all right.
Crash test dummies.
Who's the biggest Canadian band?
The biggest in Canada or the biggest in the world? The most popular Canadian band.
The most global success.
Bryan Adams.
Rush.
Then
I would say Rush.
Then Bryan Adams. And then Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, and then Alanis.
Okay. You say that's the Holy Trinity?
And then Crash Test Dummies.
Crash Test Dummies. I love that you pulled Crash Test Dummies. I mean, they're
Crash Test Dummies.
Listen, tragically hip, best Canadian band, rock band, but like, listen, I don't want to be the stereotypical Canadian. You brought me on to talk about your Canadian rock and roll movie, but like, seriously, Tragically Hip, rest in peace, Gord Downey. Okay, I'll move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're supposed to be like global superstars who are now fading, right?
Yes.
Like Crash Test Dummies. Look, I will admit the first CD I ever bought was God Shuffled His Feet by Crash Test Dummies.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah.
That was the first CD I bought with my own money, Andrew.
Yes! It's still on very heavy rotation for me, too.
It's a good one.
I forget how much younger than me you guys are.
Oh, jeez.
Making me feel a little old. So, yeah, I think they are supposed to have had a pretty big hit, like not just an alternative charts hit, but like a top 40 hit, top 10.
Yeah. To me, they seemed like a Kings of Leon type thing where they, like, not as big, but they've had a couple of big hits that people know, so they get the, hey, you go on a world tour for your first album, even though you've probably only got 12 songs to play, and then off you go, and then you disappear into obscurity for a few years. Yeah,
and it seems like the film opens and ends with these radio interviews that are very important to the plot and to the rising and falling kind of action. But I believe that Sled Dog is playing the Orpheum wherever they are. And that seems to be like the step down. Like we used to play the Globo Dome, and now we're playing this big club. And so later on we find out another band. They say, you were started out the Orpheum, and now you're doing, So that seems to be the indicator of like rising or falling as your importance as a band. So they are definitely downward facing Sled Dog.
Downward facing Sled Dog.
That took me a second. Yeah, me too.
I apologize.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was trying to find an analog to like what is this band supposed to sound like, because I'm not very cool with modern musics. So yeah, I was thinking not like Foo Fighters, but it felt like it felt more late 90s to me, or early aughts. But I'm not good at placing popular music, so I was having a hard time like finding out what this is supposed to sound like. Like that end of grunge heading to transitioning rock pop sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, like Foo Fighters did, I guess, but probably on a lower level.
Yeah.
Which is why, to me, the original title, Hammer of the Gods, doesn't make any sense unless you set this like 20 years ago, and then they're like a metal band. Like, these guys don't seem like Hammer of the Gods type people.
Yes. I think it would have made sense based on a song we hear later.
I suppose that's true.
And the fact that the Archons of the title are maybe depending on their nature. Okay, I'm trying not to get into too much here, but yeah, I agree. It's I mean, when I first heard the name, I was like, that's a Led Zeppelin book, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it could just be that Mitch looks like a stand-in for Thor.
True. Yeah,
very Canadian Thor, but Thor nonetheless.
I think that I saw in the press kit that they said there was a slot machine called Hammer of the Gods, and that was where the legal threat came in, which I didn't know that was an issue, but apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, because they wanted to reserve the right to make their own spin-off of a slot machine into a film that would be hampered by this film having the same name, apparently. So, yeah, so...
A taut action thriller.
Yes, taut. Where do we go from here?
Well, April jumps on and off they go.
And her friends call after them. One of my two favorite lines of the movie: "Please don't die, and please don't kill my friend." Which, that is a thing that you would say. It's just like a beautiful, like, oh, this is a hilarious thing that you say, and like, I'm worried, but I'm making a joke about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you think they would have tried to talk their friend out of it just a little bit more, like put a bit more pressure on it, not like, well, your mum's going to be pissed off, and that's it.
Yeah, she seemed like she was pretty hell-bent. I mean, she literally had the shirt and CD in the tent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was any talking her out of it. Yeah, exactly.
She's got about 6 band shirts and 6 CDs in there, just in case one of those bands shows up.
Right.
Yeah.
So ostensibly the plan that Eric has is he has a map of these checkpoints, and it's supposed to be 4 nights, and it's supposed to end at a cabin with an RV there to, I guess, shuttle them back to wherever they put in. And the plan is they're supposed to each have an allotment of acid for each night of the trip, and they're supposed to dose at the exact same time every 24 hours, and to not skip it, not stray from that schedule, and just go for the ride, experience the trip. And what happens that first night?
I wrote, Eric hears a Smith's ripoff in the night and goes off to investigate.
You talking about the actual?
Yeah, the riff. There's a little like musical Smith song. Like they take the stuff and then nothing happens, and then they're all kind of bummed, and then they write Transgender Jesus.
Yeah. So the Smith thing you're referring to, that's the non-diegetic music, right?
Hello? Mitch? Mitch?
The film's soundtrack, not actual something playing. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. I really like that music, and I really like the Smiths, so I guess that was why I thought that music was awesome.
I love it. I was just being irreverent. Like I'm like, this kind of sounds like the Smiths. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I would go into the woods to hear the Smiths.
But do you think that Eric heard it, or is that presenting to us through the language of film something drawing him in? But
I honestly thought he heard it in his. Really did think that he heard that music in his head.
Oh.
Because they were seeing things that weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
They were seeing colors in the water. Mitch was seeing creatures that nobody else could see. I thought Eric was hearing music that no one else could hear.
Okay. I just thought that was a cue for us that something interesting is happening and drawing him. So interesting. Okay. One of us is wrong.
Listen, you're probably right.
Nick's going to know. Nick will tell us.
Okay.
That's why I'm not weighing in. I'm just staying out of it, and then I'm not wrong.
There you go. But yeah, like they write Transgender Jesus, and then things really click in, and then Eric wakes up on the shore of the river the next day.
Yep.
I mean, who hasn't done that before?
On a 4-day canoe trip.
So yes, he wakes up. He essentially.
You guys weren't expecting that. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, I think that the director did say he loved Deliverance and he wanted to have there's not enough canoe movies, survival.
It worries me when people say I love Deliverance. It does worry me.
It does worry me.
So, yes, I love Transgender Jesus. That's a song that Mitch bashes out while they're waiting for the acid to kick in, and they're just kind of all sitting around the fire staring at each other going, what the fuck is going on? But that's another opportunity for, the film to show us that Mitch is not the creative genius of the band again. He has another song later when Eric does have a nice riff he's cooking up on the river. He starts singing Anchovy Paste.
Yeah.
Spread it on thick for optimal taste. So again, he's not the genius of the group.
Listen, he doesn't write it; he just sings it.
Yeah, man.
But an interesting beat here is that Eric brought along a digital recorder to capture some sounds and stuff like that when they get inspired and have some riffs. And he wakes up in the morning, and the next day they find out that there's something kind of intriguing on the recorder, which is a new lick and riff. So there's some arpeggiated notes, and then there's some power chords. And it's a fully baked song idea. And he has absolutely no recollection of doing any of that. And that doesn't seem so strange because when he's waking up, Mitch storms down the river and says, it's working. It was really late acid, but it's kicking in. And he's seeing some strange visuals and colors and things you would associate with psychedelics. So, yeah.
Some rainbow water.
Some rainbow water.
I really liked the rainbow water. I was like, ooh, that's a good effect.
That was a cool effect. Yeah.
And then, okay, so did April take more drugs than she was supposed to?
The second night.
The second night. Okay.
She takes all the drugs.
She takes all three remaining drugs.
I believe she takes the rest because the first night was a bummer.
There were a couple of things that were unclear to me, and that was the first one. I was like, she took more than she should have. And this is not a game. This is serious.
Babe. It's okay, babe.
I love how quickly they hooked up like that. He's already calling her babe like 2 hours after meeting her.
There's a groupie. There's like groupie rule books, right? Like, I think that gets handed to every handsome front man.
Yeah. I was thinking about psychotronic films that were like touch points or, reference points for this one for me. And I saw this one from 1973. It's a real piece of shit from David Friedman. It's just sleazy as all get out. I believe Something Weird Video has put it out recently, but it's called Bummer. And the other name for it was Rock Hard. And it's about this band called The Group, and they play in like Sunset Strip, but it's that sad end of the 60s, early 70s where everything's kind of gross and sleazy, and you can tell, and this is very much that, like the end of the era and the start of the Nixon kind of grossness. But these guys are not that great, and they get these groupies that hang out with them, and there's this guy, I know you know who he is. He was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He's one of the bikers. He always plays a biker. His name is Dennis Berkeley, I think. He's a character actor. Big burly bear dude.
It's not from Bloodsport as well, is he? He's not that guy.
Might be. I've never seen Bloodsport. He was also in this movie that was my favorite movie as a kid, which is terrible, called Laser Blast, but Mystery Science Theater riffed it, and it was a really great episode. But anyway, he's this big, hairy, shaggy dude. The other three dudes in the band are hooking up with these groupies. He's kind of just dropping acid and smoking weed and drinking and being creepy and weird. I think he ends up like raping some girls. He just snaps and starts hunting the people down. They go out camping out in the woods, the band and these groupies, and he snaps and starts hunting them down like a maniac. It's a really depressing, really cheap, really sleazy piece of shit that I saw in a theater that I kept thinking of, like, is this going to go that way? Like, is somebody going to get a head full of bad acid and then completely snap, and this is going to become survival horror in the sense that we have to survive one of the band members? So, yeah, Bummer. If you want to see Bummer, you can find it. It used to be on YouTube, but it's not available anymore. But anyway, if you want to find a psychotronic movie that I thought of, that's it. There's another film that I'm going to reference, but that would be revealing too much, so I'll talk about that film towards the end. So I'd say there's one real first big exciting event that maybe that would be a point where we can tell people to hop off if they want, or
probably the best.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're intrigued by what you've heard, I highly recommend you check it out. You can rent it pretty much anywhere or buy it digitally that you get your movies. I'm hoping that there's a physical release because I would definitely like to buy this film. Again, I watched it twice, and I feel like the second time I took away a lot more than I did the first time, and I appreciated it more. So the first time I watched it on my MacBook, I was a little frustrated because I couldn't get it to play through Vimeo on my TV as a Vimeo app because, we had a direct URL, and you can't do that in the Vimeo app. So I watched it on a small screen. I was kind of irritated, and then I tried to rip it with screen grabs and put it on a thumb drive, knowing Nick wouldn't care if I deleted it afterwards, and put it in my Blu-ray player and then play it on my TV, and that didn't work, and I was pissed off, so I just rented it last night. So, Nick, I paid for it. But the second time, I had it going through my huge TV and my awesome home theater system, so it was really great with the sound cranked up, and kudos to the sound designer as well, by the way. Hearing it through a nice speaker system, I was blown away by the sound.
That is one thing I like, too, is that the music... there's barely any music. It's more just what's going on around them. I love that. To me, that ramps up the tension more rather than having musical stings. It's just you hear what they hear. You don't get the shock of when Jason attacks and everyone goes Ree! Music. It's just you just hear exactly what's going on around you. Like you can hear the construction and stuff going on around me.
And because music is so important to the movie, I think it's a really good idea to like make it kind of like a multi-layered realistic sound so that so you pay attention when music happens.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think that was intentional. I thought that was a really good call too. Yeah. Before we let people hop off, I also wanted to, again, Cameron Tremblay's night of the forest scenes in the night were gorgeous. There were some really great key and rim lights on some branches and stuff like that to give this, and it was almost like a supernatural but naturalist at the same time way of lighting this to where it seemed very natural but odd and eerie at the same time. So I was totally impressed with the way he lit that. I know I've lit stuff at night outside for shoots before, and it's not easy. It is really challenging. So these folks had between the water and the forest, tough row to hoe.
I feel like his next movie may just be set in an apartment after all this. after the first two, it's just going to be, we're going to do one set and that's it.
It's called Green Screen. It's my new feature. It's one guy, one screen, and that's it. Okay, folks. So that is the end of the spoiler-free part of Archons. I'm going to give you a chance to hop off here and go rent it, and then you can come back and listen to the second half. That's what I would do. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yes.
Go rent it. Pause this, rent it, watch it, go for a walk, watch it again, then listen to the rest of this episode.
Hey, there's gonna be a big party at my house. I'm charging $2 to get into my house. You know the food and the drinks are all for free. If you want a plate of cup, you gotta buy it from me. Now there ain't gonna be any kissing on the damn.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. And again, this is the spoiler full, not spoiler free, spoiler full part of the show. So April has decided to take all the drugs instead of following the strict rules.
All of them.
And we've learned from fairy tales, mythology, everything else that's taught us. Neil
Being at
Gaiman's
parties with
instructions. Yeah. Did you ever read Neil Gaiman's instructions with art by Charles Vess?
No.
Oh man, it's this children's book that is this whimsical Neil Gaiman-y thing that's like whenever there's if you ever see, I'm trying to think of examples of it, but whenever there's something offered you by an old person, whatever, never accept it. It's like just this amalgamation of every monomyth thing, and it's gorgeous. Charles Vess. I mean, his paintings showing this kid going through this adventure, and it's so cool. I got it for Athena when she was little, but it's adults would dig it too. The art and the messaging is so neat.
Cool.
Powerful stuff. But the point being that you always follow your drug schedule. You always know your dealer. You always measure how much you take. There's rules, man. We learned this at Woodstock.
And everybody breaks those rules.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody breaks
Woodstock
those
99?
rules.
Yeah.
Was that Woodstock 99?
No.
Everything set on
That
fire?
one's called Stay Home.
Yeah.
Last night, actually, I was after I watched it for the second time, Renee fell asleep on me, and I was just flipping around on YouTube, just kind of killing time. And I subscribed to this channel called The Shrouded Hand, and it's this British guy who does just kind of not crypto stuff, but like weird or horrible or creepy real docu little shorts. And this one of them is he collates people's trip reports from different drugs and reads them and adds visuals in and stuff like that. But I watched a series of ones on Datura, which is jimson weed seeds.
Oh.
And this is it's a full on, what do you call that? It's not psychedelic, it's not a hallucinogenic, it's delirium, something with delirium is the root word. But they sound awful. I mean, worst trip ever, nightmarish stuff, days long, sometimes weeks of still feeling effects. Like somebody woke up, somebody took it. He and his friend are heavy drug users. So they thought, well, we're doing this for the first time, so let's take a really big dose because we're so experienced with stuff. And so they took 4 times what you would normally take, recommended. And I think he woke up 3 miles from his house in someone else's house, naked, smeared in his own shit, like a day later. And they were trying to like hold him down. Like you have full immersive, the floor is cats. Everyone's demon people. Like it's all super negative, super horrifying. Your throat constricts just as it literally constricts. So you feel like you're choking all the time. Like it just sounds like a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah. Worth checking out. I also listened to some of the ayahuasca ones. Those weren't as bad, but also sounds like it could be not a good time.
No.
That's why I like weed and beer, keep it simple. So we are back on here, and April took her big dose. She said, fuck it, took the rest. Mitch was angry. That night, right, Mitch has started to experience some things.
Started to see some things.
And I think he spent the night essentially standing at the edge of the camp, smoking cigarettes and staring into the dark, watching something that he thought was watching him, or not watching him, but right? I mean, he's monitoring. He's around the periphery of the camp, and he's tripping out. And so April wakes up, and she has a screaming headache.
I love the room. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
I was gonna say the bit where they're in the dark and he's got the torch going around is one of my favorite things in movies, where they're going to, and then something just, you catch a tiny little glimpse of something and it moves the tree branches or the bushes, and that's it. That's one of my favorite little jump scares in movies. I do love that when that happens. When it's done well, it is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, the next morning, I just love the way that you discover April. They're like, come on, like Mitch and April have got to get up, and then Liv goes over and opens the tent, and April's just sitting there, hooded eyes, just like, I have a headache. Don't feel good.
Yeah, and so this doesn't go so well for April. They get back on the river, and that's when the anchovy paste song happens. So Eric's getting some inspiration here, and he's starting to write some stuff himself, not only appearing magically on the digital recorder, but he's actually writing some things, and Liv thinks it sounds pretty good. And April is hurting. She's a hurting unit, as we say. And she turns around to Mitch to let him know that she can't deal anymore. And her head is has a giant pulsating blob on her forehead where something's going on. And she's screaming from the pain. And then it splits open, and there's a fount of blood coming out, and she is dead. She is dropped dead.
Yeah.
Cuckoo.
Don't take the brown acid, kids.
Don't take all of the brown acid at once. Something pops out of her head and crawls away. And Liv and Eric are too caught up in their own conversation about, like, I didn't write this. Well, if you didn't write it, who did write it?
Oh, right. He's listening to the playback. You're right.
It's okay, babe. You just got to suck it up.
Nice last words to your new temporary girlfriend.
Suck it up.
So they pull over and are panicking, trying to think, okay, how far are we from the nearest, phone? Not that that's going to help anything, but you do have a dead person on your hands. It's a virtual stranger. No,
she's Babe now, man. Come on, she's not a stranger. She's Babe.
Yeah, help me out. So what happens next here, guys?
Well, they just sort of ditch the body and go.
Do they bury her? I feel like there was a scene that we missed where they made a decision about what to do with the body. There's normally in a horror movie, there's like we can't just leave her here, like that kind of conversation. No. Didn't get that.
They just sort of looked at each other. Oh, same page. Yep. Bye.
Oh, yeah. That's called band telepathy.
Yeah.
Usually it's reserved for jamming and stuff, but I guess it also works when dealing with a body.
Yeah, it seemed like at this point, Liv is the one who everyone should be listening to, right? Like, we need to stop. We need to not be doing this anymore. We need to go. And then somehow, I guess, because she's a woman, the other two guys and doesn't really seem to have a personality, and the other two guys are like, nah, we got to keep going. Let's just dump this groupie and keep going to the cabin.
That seems like words that many bands have said over the years.
I'm sure.
Let's dump this groupie and go to the cabin. Yeah.
Oh dear Lord. So at some point around here, the nights kind of run together a little bit for me, but at some point, Mitch steps out into the woods at the edge of the camp, and he does see something for sure that we see, or at least, But he is approached by a figure, and he is staring kind of stock still, frozen, staring forward because he doesn't want to move or acknowledge it. And something is going around, and I believe it's the same voice actor that was in Black Mountainside. This creature with this very creepy voice is saying these unintelligible language that we don't understand, kind of sniffing around him and moving around and just kind of checking him out. And it's a very tense, freaky scene. And
meanwhile, Eric's in his tent and like there's something like pushing up against his tent.
Oh yeah. I love that.
That was good.
Good shot.
That was a great shot. Did you ever see Willow Creek?
No.
It was directed by Bobcat Goldthwait. It's a found footage
Is it the
film.
Bigfoot movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a found footage horror. It's like Panning for Gold. Most of it's muck, but when you find a nugget, it's always really great. Willow Creek's worth checking out. And it's one of those things where it's like the first, a lot of them, like it's the first hour, you're like, why am I watching this? What is Matt a complete idiot? And then the last act, you're like, oh, get it.
Yeah.
But that was a great scene where we see something that is not human pressing up against the tent as Eric's just kind of freaked out and laying on a sleeping bag, just looking the other way, like, I'm just going to ignore this, and hopefully it goes away. At some point, Eric and Mitch kind of quietly confer to each other, like, you're seeing these things, right? And they both agree that, yeah, they're real. I'm not imagining this. And it's also revealed that Liv isn't. And she reveals also that she didn't take any of that shit. She had no intention of dropping. She just wanted to babysit these guys on their, trip sitter is what they call it.
Yeah.
So
she thinks they're just high.
Yeah. And then...
Sorry. Bugs attacking.
She gets grabbed.
Oh, that grab that just drags her off screen. Holy shit.
Like, the hand just comes from off screen, grabs her by the head, and that is the last you see of Liv for the movie.
That's it. Yeah. That was scary. They do find a camp. They're almost to... So I believe they decided to skip checkpoint 4 and just plow through the night to the cabin because obviously things aren't going well. And but on the way there, before they pass checkpoint 4, they see a camp, an abandoned camp, and they pull over and check it out, and there is a mauled body there. What did you guys take that to mean? Do you think it was associated with what we're experiencing, or do you think it was...
Well, and I guess we can go into towards the end, because like if we're going to spoil things, we're going to spoil things.
Yeah. Now
I retroactively understood that as these people were just camping and were in the wrong place at the wrong time because the Archons that were brought into physical being by their taking of this drug killed them because they weren't taking the drug, just like they killed Liv.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a nice connection. I like that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If you're bravely listening without watching the film, what are you doing? But these things they're hard to describe. They are
kind of giant cockroachy looking, but
humanoid, cockroachy. They're not like big muscular predator beasts. They're kind of odd, and they seem like they wear like leather or maybe human skin, like shrouds or like capes or like cowls. They're pretty freaky looking, and they also have masks. Like with human faces on them and painted on wood, right? Did I just make that up? Okay. That was a particularly freaky touch because they're horrifying, and then you don't know what's behind the mask. So I really like that. Great creature design.
You just did made me connect something in my brain when you said their masks were human faces painted on wood, and then earlier in the canoe trip, April points at the mask that's on the tree. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we also neglected to mention they do pull over before night 2 and find some kind of like Blair Witch, but blown up way big, like a wigwam of like branches and stuff, and there's a cradle with a deer skull in it and like a humanoid kind of like a crutch with like a scarecrow of human form made of natural items, and Eric is Mitch starts to touch it and play with it, and Eric's like, don't fuck with it, man, that might be a Native American thing, we don't know if that's something sacred, and the whole place just feels off and not human, but that's never really explained. So yeah, I think we should talk a bit about what maybe do we want to go through kind of the end and then talk about our theories?
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
So the 2 remaining band members have made it to the cabin. Am I skipping anything important? After Liv gets snatched, it's
no, it's
sort of just
beeline.
Yeah, freak out and run.
So yeah, one thing I didn't understand quite was Mitch didn't stray from the schedule, right? So he's starting to experience what April experienced, a splitting headache, a bulging mass on his forehead. Was that just the cumulative effect? I have a theory about this as well, but why did that happen to him at the end of the cycle?
I would assume that. I think from what I could gather, it's sort of, and based on the ending as well, it sort of chooses one person out of the group that start doing the acid. And I think they didn't want Mitch, but Eric sort of went off track a bit and started to mess with them, so they sort of switched who they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't. Did we clarify that Eric says at one point, it's not acid. I've been lying to you. I don't exactly know what it is, but that was when I was saying, like, always know your dealer. He's like, the guy who gave it to me told me this, but I know it's not acid. And like that seemed very like, oh, okay, Eric's fucking with these people.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. At that same point where Liv says, I didn't even drop you guys. You guys are just seeing things. I think that's the same argument where he reveals, this had nothing to do with, like, this isn't even acid. This is something that Emerson Gilmore turned me on to and maybe hooked me up with a person who said, this is what I took. This is what you guys got to take. This is something that was sacred to the indigenous people. And so that's what's going to be your cure for what ails you. So it is not LSD. It is something that we don't know what it is. And it seems to have some grave consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So when they arrive at the cabin, Mitch's head is splitting, and he sees that there's a kind of a home improvement in progress going on inside. So, some drills and stuff. So he tries to drill his head open, and Eric wisely says, "Let me do that for you." So he's not trepanning himself. And
friends don't let friends drill their own heads.
Yeah. And when he does relieve the pressure, Mitch, this scene was really upsetting for me. Immediately stands up and starts peeling back his flesh and digging around inside of the open crater and pulls out a slug-like worm and throws it on the ground and stomps it and says, "What the fuck is that?" Which I think what we're all wondering.
Yeah, it's a pretty good reaction.
Yeah. And at this point, there's a Wagoneer outside, and they're hoping to find the keys so they can get to civilization and get some badly needed medical help. And the Archons, the creatures, have arrived and started shuffling around the yard, and they're coming into the house. We find the homeowner or someone else has found the house and blew their head off in the shower.
I loved the touch of seeing blood on the railing. as he was going upstairs to investigate, there's already blood on the railing. It's like, well, this is bad. This is real bad.
So I did not catch that the first time, but I watched it last night. I did, and I realized, oh, that person blew their head off because of the same reason Mitch drilled his head. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would have
someone else
so
experiencing this.
Outside, Eric is playing the tape of the mysterious music through the tape deck of the station wagon.
I thought that it was playing, and that drew him outside for that confrontation.
Right. Yes. There were a couple of things. There were a couple of things at the end of the movie that I actually had to go back and rewatch a couple of times because I misunderstood what was happening, and that was one of them. So the music starts playing, that takes Eric outside. Meanwhile, handsome Mitch is digging through Eric's stuff and finds the note about the down the river trail that they're going on. Where like it's basically, and this is where my understanding of the movie kicks in. They've taken these drugs to summon these effectively mystical creatures that act for them like the elves act for the shoemaker. You go to sleep and we'll write music for you.
Yeah. On the note, I think they refer to them as the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, that's it.
Like you have to sleep or the Tooth Fairy won't come. You can open your eyes, but you can't close them. Enjoy the new world or something to that effect. Was kind of the end of the note.
Welcome to the new world.
Yeah.
And Eric he's moving on to a solo project too. He's been working on his solo stuff. And so, it took it as the same thing as like, I'm going to use my bandmates to come up with my stuff and then I'm going to ditch them.
So my question, I guess jumping ahead maybe a tiny bit, but judging by, no, let's finish actually. So Eric confronts these things and says, this is it. This is what I get for all this, like this shitty riff. This is garbage. And he's kind of, being tough man, saying this bargain isn't worth it. And then meanwhile, an Archon is walking up behind him and slams his head in the truck, and he's pretty clearly dead. So Mitch escapes and is found by a guy in a truck. He jumps back in the boat, canoes down a few miles, gets to the highway. He's rescued.
Kills an Archon.
An Archon.
Right.
He hides behind a tree stump and kills an Archon. And that's when I realized that they were practical effects. They were people in suits from the jump. And I thought that was amazing because they didn't look like people in suits from far away. They looked really spindly.
Yeah. They're amazing.
And then he runs out to the street and gets picked up in a truck by the doctor from Black Mountainside.
Yeah, I love that guy.
He reminds me of like a really tall Peter Dinklage.
I've thought that same thing the first time I saw him.
He to me is very much like, that guy looks like a Canadian actor more than anybody in this movie. That guy is a Canadian actor.
He works a lot, right? Like I feel like the first time I saw Black Mountainside, I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah,
like,
he has that sort of face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. This last scene is kind of where a bunch of questions are answered yet also posed, I feel like. So the radio's on. This guy's going to drive him to help. And on the radio, we hear a song playing that is the riff that was gifted to Eric. And it's another band. And they're called Over Oleander. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. And so
they were mentioned in the beginning of the movie on the radio announcement. Later we'll have an interview with Over Oleander. You'll hear that later, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think at the beginning or at the end he even cues it up and says we're going to play a bit of that previous interview we had with whatever his name is from the band. So we find out through this interview that this band essentially has the opposite fortunes of Sled Dog. They were struggling in obscurity, and then there was this big tragedy where there was a plane found, and all the band is dead except for this one dude, and he survived, and he came back and rose like a phoenix with this new hit song. And so that leads to us questioning like what's going on with the Archons. Then we come across a car crash, and as they're investigating it, it's the Wagoneer from the cabin, and I think one of their cars, and all of the bandmates and April's bodies strung about to kind of cover up for the fact that they were all murdered.
Yep.
And I think at that point, where are we?
It
ends with
the fourth
stinger
night
of backfire. I know that, which is a multi-layered joke. I think Mitch gets back in the truck as
he
the
starts
guy's calling
hearing
for
the
police.
voices.
Oh, that's right. He starts hearing the creepy voices approaching, and then
And
the
he
DJ
takes
saying,
his last hit.
"Does he?"
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Yeah, he
starts hearing
does.
the voices, and he takes his last hit, and the voices go away.
Oh
Yep.
my God. Wow. And then the DJ is saying, speaking of something about Sled Dog, and then he says, speaking of, let's play that classic, oldie but a goodie. Here's Backfire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the film
That's
is
the
done.
end.
So I had a lot of questions, and not in a bad way. I love a film that makes me think, and so this had some open-ended stuff that I thought was very welcome. I'm always happy for that kind of stuff. So I think we're supposed to assume that over Oleander, the dude in that band, the leader, made that same. I think this is a bargain, a Faustian
Yeah.
bargain. Yes. So he's essentially offering up the rest of the band for fame, because they have this argument earlier where Liv is saying, or Mitch is saying, like, is being famous so important to you that you're going to complete this stupid quest we're on and people are dead? And he's kind of saying, yeah, I'm willing. That's
man.
what I'm in. That's what I'm doing. So that is a deal you make with these things, is that you somehow summon them with this drug. A barrier is lifted, a veil is lifted, and they enter our world and give you Inspirato in exchange for human lives.
Yeah. That's how I took it too. Yep.
Okay.
And then they plan or they make it look like a plane accident or a car accident, and so it's not, you don't get framed for murder, because then you're not going to be able to be famous anyway, or you will be kind of famous in a different way.
Wow, these contracts must be really long.
How do you want them to die? Plane or car? Let's see.
It's very elf. You're right. It's like the elves, the shoemaker's elves.
Yeah. My question was, were the Archons picking up the music and playing it into the like, were these like cockroach things, like picking up their guitars and like bling 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 bling?
There was a band in Australia called the Cockroaches, and they became one of the biggest musical acts in the world.
Oh wow.
The Wiggles.
Oh really?
My God.
Wow.
Yep.
Why'd they change their name?
Well, gee, I wonder. But yes, they became possibly at one point the biggest musical act in the world.
So far in this episode, we have not only learned who the biggest Canadian musical act in the world is, but also the biggest Australian musical act.
It's not the Clean.
The Clean. Oh, is that from Houseboat Horror?
Sorry.
Oh, I thought that was the band from Houseboat Horror.
I think of the Dentists. Confusing. I know that's offensive to confuse New Zealand and Australia. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's okay. Well, it's like America and Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, we all want to be New Zealanders at the moment.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Even you?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They've got like 3 total cases of COVID, and that's it.
Their rugby stadiums are full.
Yeah. They're allowed to do stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about fake horror and not real horror.
Not the fact that the U.S. has the most cases as of yesterday since August.
Oh, yay.
Gonna date this right now. Yeah.
USA number 1.
Freedom. Fucking freedom.
Can I just say, because I did like this movie, there are 2 things that frustrated me about the movie, and I want to and I want to get them out of the way, because they've been weighing on me. The first thing is the ending is very confusing, in a way that I'm like, I had to go back and play over and over again the ending 3 times, and I found it confusing because I couldn't tell who the car crash victims were.
Mm-hmm.
I had to rely on Mitch saying, these are my friends. And it should have been a shock. He recognizes April. Like, like clear as day, April's face in the lights on the pavement, and like, oh, this is bad. But I couldn't tell who was in the car crash. And secondly, I figured out eventually that the riff that Over Oleander was playing was the riff that was on the tape, but it was faster and it was in a different key, and it totally threw me off because I knew from Handsome Mitch's eyes and face that something was happening to him when he was hearing the song, but I had no idea what was going on until I went back to like, wait, is that supposed to be the same song that was on the recording? And then I pieced it together.
Okay. I figured it out. Like when the radio started playing, I was like, that's the song. And then I heard the DJ talking, like, oh, holy shit. And I got it immediately. But I can totally understand why somebody wouldn't, because it's like you're saying, it's a completely different arrangement and key. And it is, and tempo. You're right. It is completely different. But I did understand it. I mean, I did pick up on that. Am I a genius?
Yes.
I might be a genius, you guys.
Yeah.
In that Mensa.
If your president can be, you can be too.
And the other thing, I get that, like, I made that joke at the beginning where, like, look, there are girls in this movie. But, like, when you have 4 main characters and 3 of them have a clearly identifiable character and one of them is just Liv, the buzzkill drummer, like, she needs a character. She needs to be someone that I care about who seems to be a fully functioning member of this band, and it's not just Mitch versus Eric for battle of who's the front of the band.
I tend to agree with you on that criticism. When the big fight happens, when everybody's showing their stripes, and he says, the only reason you're here is because this band is all you have. And that was more information about her as a character than I had gotten from anything she said or did, I believe, throughout the film.
Yeah.
I think a couple lines of dialogue here and there, not heavy-handed or anything, but would have cleared that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or fleshed her out.
I think she needed to be fleshed out, and I think Eric's turn needs to be harder. Like, there was a slow, Eric's not telling everybody all the information. And then when he starts, like, divaing out at the Archons in the middle of the night, like, I feel that dude could have gone so hard and be like, this is what you, like, just to have him be like, oh, I don't feel bad that these aliens are going to slam his head into a car door. And then
they could have
gets to be the genius songwriter who comes out alive, I guess.
I think that's I from the start, I thought Mitch was going to be the one who would be the jerk and be the villain, because it's, he's the big lead singer. They're the ones who usually want to be more famous than anybody else. And I think Eric's turn, well, it works, but he should have gone a bit more. And especially when when Liv brings up he's been working on a solo record, that should have been more of the turn of Eric is the villain. He wants to be famous no matter what it costs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like the cinematography is so great. I know you want to keep all those shots in, but if you tightened up some of the cuts, you have a little bit more time to give your characterization a little bit more. That is really the only place I felt the movie fell down. Otherwise, like, I thought, for sure, after the first 2 lines of dialogue, I was like, I'm going to hate Handsome Mitch at the end of this. And I, like, enjoyed watching all of the things that he had to do. What a great idea for a movie. Mm-hmm. The Shoemakers, elves, plus deliverance, plus ayahuasca. Like, that's the weird elevator pitch. If the weird elevator pitch for Black Mountain Side is The Thing plus Indiana Jones plus I don't know, a third thing.
I will say, not that we're wrapping up yet, but I would say that I actually liked this one more than Black Mountain Side.
Really?
I was more engaged with this one. I love Black Mountain Side, and I think I sort of not related, but I was a bit more into the characters in this one. That, the band that's trying to get their mojo back, rather than a bunch of guys worried about a dig. Like, it was just, I don't know. Like I said, I like them both, but this one engaged me more and had me a bit more hooked.
Okay, I'll accept that. Have you guys seen Banshee Chapter?
No.
No.
So this was
It's very rare we've seen most of the movies you've seen, Matt.
this one is from 2013, and it's another film I thought quite a bit about while I was watching this one.
Ooh, it's got Ted Levine in it.
He is amazing. Okay, so this film, I highly recommend it. It's on Tubi. It's about it credits From Beyond as a story source, but it's about MK Ultra and this girl. She went through college with this guy, and he's a writer, and he's writing this book about MK Ultra, and he finally gets his hands on this DMT or whatever type of drug that's a variation on what we know, and it's an MK Ultra drug. Mysterious source gave it to him. He takes it. It starts off in a found footage kind of way of his friend documenting this trip. It goes really sideways, really weird, and so we come to find out basically that this essentially is MK Ultra was not mind control. MK Ultra was not acid, or MK Ultra was a chemical doorway that you ingest that opens the veil to these interdimensional, whatever this beings from another plane of existence to come in and essentially wear you like a suit, and your eyes go black and you bleed out your mouth, and you're a vehicle for these other entities. And Ted Levine plays this awesome Hunter S. Thompson analog who is aware of all these drugs and kind of hooks this girl up who's trying to solve the mystery of what happened to her friend with this drug, and trying to help her solve this mystery. It's a strange little movie. I really dig it. But it made me think a lot about this one as far as just the idea of a drug being a gateway, a literal gateway, not just to perception, but to reality and altering our reality. So, Banshee Chapter is a pretty cool movie too. That's all.
Nice.
I'm not offering antidotes because I don't think this movie needs an antidote.
I prepared an antidote in case, and I'm like, no, this movie is too good for an antidote.
Yeah.
Well, alsos are also welcome, like in addition to's.
You're looking for a low budget Canadian horror movie.
The Brain.
No, why not the one that was filmed in the town that I live in? Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
Oh, that's a good movie. I like that movie.
Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2 was filmed in a high school in Edmonton, about a 12-minute drive from where I live.
Audio device connected.
Whoa. By the way, I've been obsessed with one of your fellow city mates on YouTube lately. This guy that does stealth camping named Steve Wallace, Wallis, Camping with Steve. And he'll go and camp in a medium between two parts of the highway and all this super stealth stuff. And he's adorable. He's I call him the Bob Ross of stealth camping. He's very relaxing. Maybe he's just Canadian. I don't know, but he's very calm and just measured and cool, and I like him. Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he mentions Edmonton a few times, so I think of you every time. That's all. That's my story.
I approve,
Matt Howell, age 44.
I approve of anything that makes Matt Howell think about me.
So beautiful.
Do we have anything else we want to do before Final Judgment? Because I am going to judge this thing.
Fair
this
enough.
This is still That School That's Trash, even if it's not bad movies.
I will say that I think this was an off-mic conversation, but they needed more tents and bug spray and blankets. They needed more of everything. I know they're a big world-famous band who's going camping in the wilds of British Columbia to open a door for cockroaches to make music for them, but you also need to cover up.
See, I took that as this is how woefully unprepared these people are. They come from, being on the road with roadies and, people just giving them what they want. And they just go, let's just go out in the wilderness. I'm going to turn up in a singlet and shorts. We'll be right.
Yeah. I thought that, it was pretty lean. I thought there could have been a little more the woes of unprepared camping, or just kind of an indication, more just a chance to kind of flesh these characters out. Are they accustomed to this? Is this a complete inconvenience? Are they city kids? Just a little more. I mean, it was a pretty tight film. It was very lean. It in my opinion. But yeah, I did like that they maybe they weren't accustomed to this because they brought those 1950s style folding chairs, those lawn chairs. Like, that's like the most inconvenient thing you could possibly bring camping.
I have a question. Yeah. And my question is this. Would this movie have been more explainable if it was set like 15 years earlier? Like, yes. No, like, why did they have a tape deck recorder?
I thought it was a digital recorder. Was it a tape? Well, but then, was a. You're right. He had a cassette though at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a tape. Like, let's say, like, you know, let's set it in 2005. Technically, cars were still being made with tape decks. Your cell phone isn't quite as ubiquitous.
Robust.
Like, you'll drop bars for sure if you're gonna go canoeing into BC. The cabin being that far out, and like you'll need to get to a cabin for a landline, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad here. It just does seem a little bit like if we could have just aged it back a little bit, because then also like having your hero be a Led Zeppelin guy makes more sense in 2005 than it does 2019.
That's true. I think those valid points totally.
But that was just little tiny things that I am, unlike Andrew, I like Black Mountainside a little bit more than I like this movie. Mostly because there were quite a couple of actors who I was just like, please give me more of this person in Black Mountain. But yeah, I was so impressed with how good Archons looked.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Just really beautiful movie.
Yeah, I think you can tell that it is a lower budget film, but it does not look low budget.
No, not at all.
It was made by very masterful creatives with a lot of talent. So yeah, I thought it was gorgeous to look at. I think. Sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
I was just smart with the way they used the money, that the limited budget that they had, and awesome costumes and beautiful drone shots and things like that. It just makes so much more than some of the low budget movies I've watched.
Yeah, I think I follow him on the director on Twitter, and I think I saw recently he says something to the effect of like people are comparing Archons to Midsummer. And they're saying it doesn't compare favorably, and you have to realize like Midsummer had like 10 or times the budget that I had, and but I just thought that was a weird, like, is it literally because they're psychedelics? Is that the grounds for comparison? Because it
sounds like
there's nothing else related at all. And as far as horror movie budgets go, yeah, Midsummer was freaking Gone with the Wind, like for your average genre film.
Yep.
I don't know. I thought that if people are making that comparison, then they're stupid.
It's a very weird comparison.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like the thing in common is that characters take hallucinogenics and you see what they see at one point.
Yeah.
If that's all you got, you got some weak sauce there.
I'm canoeing through dangerous rapids here, folks, because I haven't actually seen Midsummer, so.
Oh, well.
I haven't either.
Well, you're fine.
It's one of those movies that I go, from what I've heard of it, I don't know if I want to sit through.
Oh, man. I love it. I saw it twice in the theater.
I'm watching. I'm taking a page from Andrew's book. I challenged myself to watch 31 horror movies this month, and Midsummer is on the short list for sure.
Okay. Have you seen Hereditary?
No, that's the other one. Those are the two big ones. And then Annihilation. Hereditary, Annihilation, and Midsummer are the three big, more recent horror movies that I really want to see. But really, I can't be watching those if I have to catch up on all the Halloween sequels I've never seen.
Yes.
Whoa, Boise, guys. Halloween 6.
Wow. I watched Halloween 2018. It was okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but that is one of them I want to see.
Yeah, Andrew, how are you doing with Halloweenosity? Are you feeling it yet? I'm not feeling it yet.
I'm getting there. We started putting up our Halloween decorations, but we've got to the point where we weren't doing our party this year because we do a party every year. And even if
My
we were allowed
invitation
to,
must have been lost every year, but whatever.
there is always an open invitation for both of you. There's always, we've had Alan here one year. Come on now, so everyone's invited.
True.
We had the year Alan and I dressed up as Power Man and Iron Fist.
I cherish that photo, by the way.
Oh God.
It was so good. But we're not doing the party. We don't even know if we usually do a maze in our garage for kids to come through when they trick or treat. And we're still umming and ahhing about putting that up. And it's just, but I've been watching my movies and trying to get into the spirit and having, Simpson Halloween episodes on in the background and things like that. So I'm trying to get there. I'm pushing myself.
Yeah, we have this site here called Nextdoor. I don't know if you guys have it, but it's awful. It's like a local version of Facebook for every neighborhood you're in. So to let that horror sink in. But
that sounds atrocious.
So we live in a little neighborhood, like subdivision planned, whatever creepy suburban thing called Terrelon. So Terrelon has every neighborhood has its own treat map. So you can go in there and claim I'm giving out candy this year or I'm not. In previous years it would just be like this array of little pumpkin dots all over your neighborhood map. I went on this year. There were 2 houses that said they were going to have decorations in their yard, and I said we'll have some jack-o'-lanterns, and none of the options were giving out candy. So 3 out of 500 houses are even just saying we're doing something you can walk by and look at.
Yeah.
So
yay. And I've been waiting. I get not a woe is me thing, but I've been waiting. How many years does it take to get a Halloween on a Saturday or a Friday? It's
exactly
years, right? Whatever. I've been waiting for this for literally 5 years, and then nothing's happening.
Yep.
Very sad.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I
live in an apartment, and there's no, there was never any handing out of candy in an apartment building.
I hear that from people in apartments. I feel bad for you folks.
Yeah, we're just gonna put on spooky decorations up in our apartment and watch Beetlejuice, and I'm gonna finally make my girlfriend watch X the Man with X-ray Eyes, which is
nice.
I love that movie.
She's like, all right, I'll do it because I love you. That's right, you will.
Ray motherfucking Milland, you will.
Ray Milland? Come on.
Sandra Corbin?
That's with my challenge with the 61 films. The one that is giving me the most grief is the viewer's choice.
Really?
Because everything else is a theme, and this one is it's just I get to choose what I want to watch, and I don't know whether I watch something I've already seen because I'm trying to do stuff that I haven't seen before. And so I don't know whether I go, all right, I'll do something, a classic, or I do something new. It's just that's the one that's throwing me off. The silent film one was easy because I found Haxon on YouTube, which, by the way, is glorious. That is such a beautiful film.
It is.
But otherwise, that's the only one that's really given me the trouble.
Wow. Sound like you're asking for help.
Oh, yeah. I will. I will be asking for suggestions. Don't worry.
Have you've seen Hereditary though, right, Andrew?
No, I have not.
Okay. That one actually kind of left me damaged goods for a couple of days. The last act was really intense. In the theater, I was kind of gripping the arm, the arm grips. It was I don't know. It was disturbing. It's really good. I haven't watched it again. I bought it the day it came out on Blu-ray, and I've not opened it. I think this is the year I'm going to watch it again because it was a little disturbing, but it's good.
So I have that. I've never seen, but I have the Blu-ray of the Babadook.
Oh, I love that movie.
And I've heard similar things about that as well. And so the Blu-ray is in my Blu-ray cupboard, still in plastic. I've never watched it, so maybe I will watch that this year.
I do love that film. I have not seen, I believe that's a female director. I have not seen her follow-up, The Nightingale.
I have heard that is intense.
I've heard good things, yeah.
I've heard it's a super intense revenge film. I've not been in a place psychologically for a lot of stuff. Horror is my go-to genre, and since the COVID thing and politics, I just feel like horror is the last place I want to be right now. It feels weird being homeless like this cinematically.
I found that watching some of the So Bad They're Good horror and a lot of the like just light-hearted horror
Yeah.
more than anything. Like I'll chuck on or stuff that's ridiculous, like something like Society, even though it probably doesn't help with what's going. But how that ending with the shunting and everything.
That's the White House.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And like Blood Diner and things that are just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a ball with crazy gore effects and nothing that's gonna make me too creeped out. Although there's been some good stuff on Shudder that I have finally got that Shudder subscription, and there's been some good stuff on there.
I bought the reissue of Volume 1 of the Vincent Price collection that Shout put out, re-released, though on Blu-ray. Gorgeous. And that's where I am right now. Like I need whatever the version of a quilt is of a horror movie.
Comfort food. Comfort food.
Yes, comfort food. It's my quinoa chili right now.
Hammer horror. That's always a nice, like I want to get like medium spook.
Yep.
And also maybe Handsome Oliver Reed is in it, or
and Pretty
maybe
Ladies with
Pretty Ladies
tops. Yeah.
Yeah. See, my comfort is going to the Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And I'm talking like after number 5, like I'm talking 6, 7, 8.
Right. When it got good.
Yeah. Well, 7 is my favorite of all time.
Yes, I know this.
I have only seen 2 Friday the 13th movies. I have seen Friday the 13th and I have seen Jason X. Those are the only 2 that I've seen.
Wow. Well, you said the
Jason
first
X.
one and like the last one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But you haven't seen the Rob Zombie ones at least.
No, that's Halloween.
Come on now.
Oh wait, who remade? Didn't somebody remake Friday the 13th?
They did, and they pushed the first 3 films into about the first 20 minutes of the film, and it is not good.
Was there just one remake or 2?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, just one.
There's 2 Halloween remakes and one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason X is the only Friday I've seen in a cinema. I went the day it opened with my girlfriend at the time. And we were us and 2 other people in the cinema, and I was having an absolute blast, and I think I was the only one in the room.
Just tears running down your face.
It was glorious.
When David Cronenberg shows up as an actor in a movie, I am interested.
Nightbreed?
Like Nightbreed.
Last Night, which is a really good. Okay, so here's a Canadian. It's not a horror movie at all. No, it was 1997. And it was the same year that America came out with Armageddon and Deep Impact, where like the world is going to explode because something's going to crash into the earth. And the Canadian version of that is the world is ending, and aren't going to tell you how. We're not going to tell you how the world is ending, but the world is in fact ending in 2 days. And here's what's happening in the world. And David Cronenberg plays a DJ who's volunteering his time because no one else is working at the radio station anymore.
Wow.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's really good. Don McKellar, Canadian filmmaker. He's made great TV, decent movies. His TV is better. Last Night has Sandra Oh, before Sandra Oh became huge in the States. David Cronenberg, Callum Keith Rennie. Like, Last Night is a really good movie.
I'm a fan of those sorts of end of the world where you know what's happening, but it's more about the people. Like Miracle Mile is another one.
Mm-hmm.
I love Miracle Mile. It's got probably the darkest ending of any film that's not a horror movie I've ever seen, but I love it.
Speaking of DJ in a film, you guys have seen Pontypool, right?
No,
Stephen McHattie.
It's
been on my list for a while.
Oh man, I love that movie, and that could totally be done on a stage because it's just essentially a DJ booth, but it's a great movie. Stephen McHattie, he's a treasure. I think he's Canadian.
He is.
Yeah.
It sounds like the one. It's not a horror movie, but the one that Oliver Stone did, Talk Radio, with Eric Bogosian.
Yeah.
Such damn
it's
good
a
movie.
Horror movie cousin. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's a thriller, but it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I hate to wrap this up, guys, but I'm gonna have to go in like 5-10 minutes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So let's do Final Judgment. Devin, is Archons? We strayed there at the end. It was a nice random chat. Is Archons cool or is it trash? And support your position.
I think it's cool. I think I didn't look up how much money this movie cost. I didn't look up how much it cost. I know it did not cost a lot, and there were only a couple of times where I was just like, "Ooh, like, did you run out of like time to retake that one?" But like, it looks amazing. Again, it's hard to not look amazing when you're in Interior BC. But like, not even that. The special effects look great. The creature effects look great. I think it is a huge step up in aspiration from Black Mountain side, and I think in mostly succeeds. It is and I think it is the definition of cool is like, oh yeah, I saw this cool little Canadian indie horror movie. You probably haven't heard of it, right? Like you can do that, but I think it's just like it's a cool little movie.
Right on.
I would love to see it with there was I assume that there were like the reason that there were like large black chunks because they hadn't quite finished the title effects or something, because I imagined it would be much like it was in Black Mountainside where it said November 1st.
Oh,
right?
Like
so like
when it
when
it ducks to black really fast and it holds. See, I like that. That reminded me of like David Lynch or something. Like where it's just kind of like, so guess he got taken over by a doppelganger. That's creepy, you know.
Handsome Mitch is good. April the Groupie is good.
You got much love for cool. Eric, huh? The actor. I thought that guy was great.
I thought Eric was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Like him. I thought he was a natural, and he's a real life musician who came into acting after he went to LA to pursue music. Actually, yeah, he's a musician first.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's definitely cool. What about? Cool. Oh, I'm gonna throw it to Andrew. Andrew, what do you think? Cool or trash?
Cool. Definite thumbs up. Cool. There was something a little like made me feel a bit special getting the link to it with the, you know, it has the countdown on it and everything. I felt like I was in some kind of secret club that got to watch a cool movie, and you know, it's just a cool thing. And I really, like I said before, I think I like this more than Black Mountainside. I think the characters I liked more. But the story's great. The roles are great. The special effects, like you said, are fantastic. I would love to see it on a big screen. I'd love to watch it at a cinema. I'd love to see it with a back-to-back with Black Mountainside. I think that would work. I think they'd make a fantastic double. I definitely will watch it again, and I'll hopefully get a copy eventually, you know, if I can get it here in Australia, or wait 6 months for it to be shipped out here from somewhere. But yeah, it's definitely one that I'll revisit, and I would, you know, recommend it to as many people as I can.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that this is a cool for me. Definitely. I'm a huge fan of this guy's work. I love his voice. I love his approach. I don't know that this edges out Black Mountainside, but only not because of execution or plotting or anything, but only because Black Mountainside, like the snowbound horror thing to me is just like, it's hard to beat that, man. The Shining and the Thing, like that's kind of my go-to. So the only reason that beats out this is because of that. But Cameron Tremblay's photography is gorgeous. Scripting is great. I have the creature design is beautiful and horrifying. I love it, and I think that if you like Black Mountainside, you should check it out. I'm really hoping for a physical release. I would love to have this on Blu-ray and see it on my giant TV. And I'm hoping that this guy gets to make some more films. He's a very talented kid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So Nick, thank you for sharing that screener with us. I hope our notes were informative. I'm assuming you'll take them to heart.
If you don't like it, you can tell me to get fucked on Twitter. It's fine.
Yeah, tell me as well.
And if you don't like what I said, you can tell Andrew to get fucked on Twitter.
Yeah, we all use our real names, so just tell Andrew to get fucked.
It's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for carving out some time to watch this and talk about it. I had a blast. It was great to see your beautiful faces again and to hear the dulcet tones of your voices and your various beards.
So very short at the moment.
Yeah, so happy that you asked, man.
Yeah, so folks, go out there and watch Black Mountainside. I recommend you buy a physical copy of it, but you can watch it on Tubi for free. And this film, so far, you can buy or rent digitally, and do that post haste. So have a happy Halloween out there, everybody, and you too have a happy Halloween. I'll be talking to you on Twitter and Instagram or whatever. But again, good to see you again.
You too, sir.
All right, well, for That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Devin Bruce.
And I'm Andrew Shaw.
You folks out there, stay trashy.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
Anchovy paste, spread it on thick for optimal taste.
Deep, real deep, Mitch.
I don't write them, I just sing them.